My name is Tanja with a J, and I'm going to be your tour guide today. If everybody can hear me okay, can you give me a little wave, please? Thank you all so much. Now, before we get started, I do have to ask that during our ride, you please remain seated throughout the entire ride, keeping all body parts and objects inside the car and children under the age of 3 securely in an adult lounge. Also, please refrain from tobacco use, eating, or drinking, with the exception of water. And lastly, please keep all cell phone or other loud conversations to a minimum. Now that we have all that out of the way, we can get started on this 1-mile trek through the wilds of Africa. We're going to start here in the rainforest. This is the Ituri rainforest of the Democratic Republic of the Congo. And that is the only place on Earth, besides in some zoos, that you'll be able to find this very shy and elusive animal that is tall and dark brown and has white and black stripes on its legs. As we come around the bend here, if you look straight down, you will see 2 of them, and they are okapis. Now, when scientists first discovered the okapi in the early 1900s, they thought it was a relative of the zebra, of course, because of those stripes. But after being studied for many years, come to find out they're actually a closer relative to the giraffe. They have several giraffe-like characteristics, such as those sloping hindquarters, the shape of the face, the long neck, and their tongue. The okapi has a 14-inch long prehensile tongue. The word prehensile means grasping, so they use their tongues kind of like we use our hands. And they use it, of course, for eating grass and leaves, but they also use that very long tongue to clean out their own ears, their own noses, and sometimes they'll even wipe their eyeballs clean with it. We're now leaving that okapi behind, and we have to do a little bit of climbing to get in our next habitat. We are going high into the mountains of Egypt and the Sudan, and that's where we'll find African mountain goats called Nubian ibex. Right here in front of us is one of the nanny goats. We can tell because she has those very sleek and slender horns. But if you look all the way to the back, resting comfortably, you're going to see one of our billy goats. And those males have horns that can be up to 4 feet long and weigh as much as 40 pounds on their heads. And right here in the middle is going to be another one of those nanny goats along with a couple of her kids. Yes, their babies are called kids, just like ours are. Everybody to have a seat and remain seated, please. Thank you. Now, I bet you're wondering how they make it up and down those hills without falling over. Well, they have specially made hooves for that. Their hooves are concave shaped, which means that they're shaped kind of like suction cups. And that helps them to get a very good grip when they're going up and down those mountains, especially if they're going really fast to get away from some of their natural predators, such as leopards. We're now leaving that mountain habitat behind, and we're descending into the woodlands. The woodlands make up about 40% of Africa's total land, and that consists of lots of trees and lots of grasses. Now you're going to see some very familiar animals that live in the woodlands, and they are zebras. There are 3 different types of zebras that exist, and these are called Grevy's zebras. They are the biggest and the most endangered of all 3 species. Now, a good way to tell the difference between a Grevy's zebra and the common zebra that you can find in our savannas is that these Grevy's zebra have very thin and narrow stripes that do not go all the way under their belly. Their underbelly is totally white. They also have a prominent black stripe that goes down the center of their back, and they have big round donkey-like ears. Make sure you check out their camouflage also. Now, when most people think about camouflage, they think about animals blending in with their environment. Well, these animals have a different type of camouflage. It's called disruptive camouflage, and that means that they blend in with one another. That way, in Africa, if there's a lion looking for something to eat, it's very hard for a lion to choose just one zebra because they live in herds, and all that lion sees is a whole bunch of black and white stripes. Those Grevy zebras are endangered in the wild. That means they are in danger of becoming extinct. So word extinct means that there are no more. So here at the Dallas Zoo, they're a part of our species survival plan in which we breed them, and we try to get them back out into Africa so that their numbers can grow instead of get smaller. Now, in our next habitat, we're going to have a brand new animal here, and it's called a dik-dik. It'll be a small antelope, and they're very hard to see right now because they're just now getting used to having the train coming through their habitat several times a day. So if you look all the way to the back, you might get a glimpse of one. I'm not seeing it right now. They usually dart in and out. If you don't see them today, make sure you come back in a couple of weeks and see if you can find the small antelope. Once again, they're dik-dik. And then right next door, we have a couple of caracals. If you look all the way to the left-hand side and right up front underneath the bush, those are two small cats, and they are predatory cats. Once again, they are caracals. The word caracal is derived from a Turkish word that means black-eared. That's how they got their name, because they have those black tufts of hair on their ears. Now, I know those cats are small, cute, and cuddly looking, but they are built for running and jumping. They have very strong hind legs, which enable them to outrun a lot of antelope and occasionally catch one and have it for dinner. They can also jump up to 8 feet into the air, flat down and go fly ground, and now that's for a tasty afternoon snack. Now you guys have to listen very closely with your safari ears. You will be able to hear the next habitat before you even see it. See if you can guess what we're rolling into next.